Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Before you watch today's video, please subscribe our channel. If you always watch our video, you may know that based on the Global Division of Labor and Cooperation, Huawei has made great progress in the fields of mobile phones, chips, and communications. However, the deglobalization of the United States has hindered suppliers from cooperating with it, and most American companies have also made their own choices. But Huawei has been working hard to break the ice in the software and hardware ecosystem, and finally began to say goodbye to US companies. What software and hardware ecological progress has Huawei made? How has life been after US companies put their stance right? Huawei's hardware and software ecosystem achieves new breakthroughs. At its peak, Huawei's mobile phone business ranked among the top 3 in the world, and the consumer business consisting of smartphones, computers, tablets, and watches contributed the most revenue to Huawei. For example, in 2019, smartphone shipments reached 240 million units, and the entire consumer business achieved sales of 467.3 billion yuan. It accounted for nearly half of the revenue of 858.8 billion yuan in 2019. But at the same time, during 2019, the changes in Huawei's mobile phone business also began. Google stopped authorizing GMS services to Huawei, and no longer opened the update permission for the major version of the Android system. In the following years, Huawei's mobile phone business shipments fell out of the top 5 in the market. The consumer business was integrated into the terminal business, and the operator business became the largest source of revenue. Changes in the market did not stop Huawei, but actively adjusted its status and sought solutions. The good news is that Huawei's mobile phone business has been boosted this year. Yu Chengdong said that Huawei has solved the problem of the supply chain and the production capacity has returned. Data show that in the first 3 quarters of this year, Huawei's mobile phone shipments reached 8.6 million units, a year-on-year increase of 48.3%, and it has returned to the top 10 global smartphones. It can be seen from the sales of the Mate 50 series of mobile phones that Huawei is back. The reason for this is that Huawei has made a lot of efforts in the field of software and hardware ecology and achieved new breakthroughs. First, look at the software. Huawei's software layout is mainly to develop the harmonyos operating system, and also develop the ARC compiler and Sangjia programming language for the underlying technology. The harmonyos operating system replaced Google's Android system and got rid of the influence of Google's actions. Huawei has installed the harmonyos system update on mobile phones, tablets, computers, smartwatches, and other products, and the number of Huawei devices equipped with harmonyos continues to break records. Huawei held the HTC 2022 Developer Conference on November 4. At the conference, Yu Chengdong shared the progress of harmonyos equipment installation, saying that the number of Huawei equipment equipped with harmonyos system has exceeded 320 million units, an increase of 113% year-on-year. The shipments from harmonyos Jilian products exceeded 250 million units, a year-on-year increase of 212%. In other words, there are already 570 million harmonyos devices on the market. The number of such devices is very large. You must know that Android and iOS have taken more than 10 years to reach the number of billions of devices, and Huawei harmonyos has only been in the market for a few years. This also reflects the advantages of the harmonyos distributed operating system, which can be used on smartphones, tablets, and other devices. In addition to the number of devices, Huawei harmonyos developers have also exceeded 2 million, and harmonyos Jillian has more than 2,200 partners. It can be seen that Huawei's software ecosystem has achieved great progress, and it is time to say goodbye to Google's actions to stop GMS services and Android system updates. Next, look at the hardware. Huawei has increased self-research and switched to domestic supply chain development. Take Huawei Mate 50 as an example. Although this phone only supports 4G, and the SoC is also purchased, it supports a lot of Huawei's self-developed technologies, such as Ximage imaging system, satellite communication, Kunlun glass, baseband chip, and so on. Most of the rest of the components are from domestic suppliers. The screen is from BOE, Visionox. The RF antenna is from Sinway Communication, and the ODM is from BYD, and so on. The localization rate of Huawei Mate 50 has increased again, and it has been proved that Huawei can also get technical support for components when it switches to the development of the domestic supply chain. Moreover, Huawei also participates in the development of the supply chain through investment. Kunlun glass, whose hardness and wear resistance are 10 times higher than ordinary glass, is made by Xinjing Special Glass, and Huawei Hubble is the third largest shareholder of the company. How has life been after U.S. companies put their stance right? Some U.S. media said that Huawei has begun to say goodbye to U.S. companies and is improving technical controllability from software to hardware. After American companies took a stand, life was not good, and revenue and profits plummeted. Separately, Intel's third quarter net profit plummeted 85%, Seagate's profit plummeted 94%, and Nvidia's second quarter net profit also plummeted 72%. In the financial reports released by U.S. companies, plummeting profits have become commonplace, and it is estimated that in the next few quarters, the financial situation may not be able to improve. Because the cold winter of the U.S. technology industry has come, some U.S. companies have fallen into a wave of layoffs, and chip prices have been cut and sold. Not only that, under the anti-monopoly supervision of the European Union, India and other countries and regions, Apple and Google are facing the situation of adjusting the default function services. In the future, Apple may be forced to open third-party app stores, and Google can no longer favor its own search function. Therefore, the days of American companies in recent years have not become easier because of their stance. Instead, they have lost many market sales opportunities because of the insistence of the United States. Google did not expect that its actions would lead to the rise of a world-class operating system. But the boat is done, the overall situation is set, and U.S. companies can only let nature take its course. Huawei has a vast business, and mobile phones are only a part of Huawei, but Huawei will not give up the development of mobile phone business, because this is an important carrier for the future development of harmonyos. Huawei is developing the future in its own way, and looks forward to making even greater progress. What do you think about this? Feel free to share in the comments below.